happy to introduce you today to Michaela Harrell. She is a high school student here at Russellville High School, and she is in the pageant scene and got a lot of stuff going on. And we've learned about Michaela through some projects she's sent us over the years. Her family really proud of the work she's putting in to do the pageant scene and just to do it right. Michaela, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've got going on recently?
So, as he just said, I'm Michaela. I'm 15 years old. Yes, I go to Russellville. I'll be going into the 10th grade, so I'm moving up to the big school, got some changes going. But just, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, I just finished Miss Arkansas's teen, and I finished with second runner-up, which was super exciting. This was my third year competing. Hopefully, I'm going to be going into my fourth. But I competed as your Miss Dogwood's teen this year. That's part of the more Northwest Arkansas area. But I got so many scholarship dollars. Within all of the prelims, I won every single one of them, fortunately. On-stage question, fitness, gown, and talent, which I'm very grateful for all of those scholarships and the opportunity to be able to showcase all of my talents on the Miss Arkansas stage. And yeah, I've just never stopped working since then, been working on my CSI and just building up from there.
Well, I want to talk about your future because I know that it's bright, and as you mentioned with the scholarships, you've got a lot going for you, but how long have you been in this?
I have been actually competing in more like local pageants since I was 2 months old. So thankfully my mom put me in pageantry. So that's allowed me to build up my confidence, stage presence, and all of that. But whenever I joined the Miss America system and started competing in local prelims for Miss Arkansas's teen, I was able to build my CSI, learn how to communicate in private interview, have a talent to showcase on stage, and be able to talk in front of an audience and one-on-one like I'm doing with you right now. So I was involved in the Miss America organization for 3 years, but I've been doing pageantry since I was 2 months old. And my community service initiative, Open Arms, Serve to Lead, Lead to Serve, I started that whenever I was around 7 or 8 years old, whenever I had lost 2 of my family members to cancer back to back. And it started off as just fundraising for cancer patients who may be struggling financially and giving them emotional support to them. But then I kind of looked at it from a different perspective and saw that it's not just the patient that's having an emotional toll taken on them, but also their family. And then from there, as I got older, my perspective on everything just continued to expand, which is why I named it Open Arms, because my arms are open to anyone who is in need of any sort of help. It's not just cancer patients, it's not just their families. It could be people who are food insecure. It could be a 3-year-old child who may be struggling with domestic violence in their home. It could be literally anyone and everyone, and my arms are open to all of them. And yeah, ever since then, I've been working on my CSI and serving whoever I can.
Well, you come across obviously as a very well-spoken and with a heart for the community. What is your long-term goal as far as what do you want to do with your life?
Well, as Michaela, I would like to join the Army, and I want to go into the reserves, go through ROTC, and become an officer. My dad and all of my ancestors, including my brother on my mom's side of the family, he was the first on her side, they have all been enlisted and in the Army, but they've all been males. So I was like, I want to break the streak, be the first girl, and I'm going to be in the reserves, be an officer, change it up a little bit. So, and then they also do make good money, but that's not what I'm in it for, of course. And then I would like to pursue a veterinarian degree as well, because I've always had a love for animals. That's where one of my favorite places to go volunteer growing up was the animal shelter here in Russellville. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know your dad sent us some videos and pictures last year, and we shared those of the boxes that you built. Tell us a little bit about those.
The reason I originally got started in building those food boxes was way back in like the summer of 7th grade, and I didn't build the box until the end of 8th grade. I had noticed that the old food box was very old and run down, and it was leaking because I had recently moved up to go to the junior high from the middle school. And whenever I would fill it up the night before a school day, I would come back the next morning and it was completely empty. So I knew that there was a need in my community for food and non-perishable food items. So I just did some more research, I continued to fill it up, and then come around Christmas time, I was hosting another fundraiser to fill up the food box actually with more non-perishable food items, and Miss Arkansas 2024, Camille Cathy, was there. And she told me a story about how her sister built a food box for her community as well, and she encouraged me to do it, and I was like, that's actually a really good idea. And then around February is whenever the National Civics Bee came up. Miss Angela Bonds with the Russellville Chamber of Commerce reached out to me and encouraged me to get involved in that. And it's basically just a problem you see in your community, how you plan to solve it, and how that connects with civics, basically. And my solution was building a food box, and I did my research on food insecurity, and I realized that Arkansas is ranked #1 in the nation for food insecurity, which I did not know. And every 1 in 4 children are food insecure here in the River Valley, which is very unfortunate. And that's exactly why I built the food box. So after a long, hard months worth of building it, and when I say I built it, I mean I built it, and I do take a lot of pride in that. On my Miss Arkansas paperwork, I put Master of Power Tools on there, and they asked me about it, and I say, my dad was just there to make sure I didn't cut my fingers off. I was there like operating the drills, doing the jigsaw with the big thing. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, and I was up in there doing the caulk and paint, and it's so big I could fit in the bottom shelf, which I'm very proud of, and I kind of feel maternal towards the box every time I pass by it. It's like my baby, but yeah, and then I put it in at the end of spring break, I think right before Memorial Day weekend, and then a year later, Mr. Farr with the middle school, he asked me to build a food box for the middle school, actually right after I built the other one, but then we put it into place this past year in my 9th grade year, so I'm very thankful for those opportunities, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to help feed the River Valley.
Well, speaking of opportunities, you're going forward in the pageant scene. What's the ultimate goal as far as the pageant scene goes before you go into your real world life? What do you want to accomplish here in the pageants?
So the reason that I joined the Miss America system really was to be able to have not only do what I love, pageantry, but also have the opportunity to serve others. It's just really given me a platform to step up on and have just a bigger audience to reach with my CSI. And my goal is to just reach as many people as I can and encourage as many people as I can to get involved in service. And all of you guys watching, please, please, please go check out volunteerism or find some place to go volunteer, because I promise you, as someone who's been doing it for over 10 years, it is completely worth it. I wouldn't be the person I am today without it. And yeah, just in the long term, if that's winning Miss America's teen, if that's winning Miss Arkansas's teen, or if that's just as Michaela, expanding my CSI to every Arkansan I possibly can, that's exactly what I plan to do, just expand wherever I can.